Splatoon 3 patch 4.0 is coming out for the new Sizzle season, and instead of reading off everything that's changing word by word, I'm going to just simplify all of the balance changes to simpler sentences using either the words buff or nerf, just to help kind of understand it a little bit easier. I'm also going to offer quick opinions on the changes in terms of competitive Splatoon. If you want to check out all of the bug fixes and the Salmon Run changes, check out the official patch notes. If you like this Splatoon content, please subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and get started. The Carbon Roller is getting a 1/6 of a second buff to hit its rolling top speed. That seems like a nice quality of life change that will make it just a little bit more mobile. Octobrush will have an ink efficiency buff by 6% when swinging and 7% when rolling on the ground. I think this is a really good change. Even though the Octobrush is a short-range weapon, it's always felt a little bit ink hungry, especially when trying to use its sub-weapon and trying to follow up with the main weapon. Snipe Rider 5H is getting ink efficiency buffed by 13%, and then its charged and charging strafing speed will be buffed by 13%. I think that's great. It's a great change. I don't know if it's really what the weapon needs, but definitely it does need to be faster since it can't really swim in between its shots. So more run speed, that's good for it. This is a huge one. The Splash-O-Matic has nerfed painting range by 10%. I think this is actually a smart change because the Splash-O-Matic is shorter range than something like a splatter shot, but it could still paint just as far. So now if you're not able to hit a weapon, you're probably not going to be able to paint over its feet either. So it's going to lose that advantage in fights. Sloshing Machine has a nerfed fire rate of 5/60th of a second, or 5 frames. This kind of exacerbates the issue with Sloshing Machine, that it's kind of too slow. Its DPS isn't really good, and now it's going to be even slower to actually do enough damage to kill things on its own. This seems a little harsh because I think Machine's still going to be used. It's going to feel more awful. It's the only AoE weapon or area of effect weapon that really has a good kit like Fizzy and Booyah. People are still going to use it. It's just going to suck a little bit more now. And I would have preferred they would have changed either like the damage combo numbers, make them lower, or even just nerf the hitbox. This seems like a really harsh change, but we'll have to see. The Splatana Stamper's horizontal slash has been nerfed by 14%, its width. That's probably going to be paint. And then also, its ink efficiency is nerfed 30%. Both these changes seem a little bit too harsh to me, and I know the Splatana Stamper has been a very powerful weapon at mid-range, able to do damage combos and instantly just delete people. However, I think its ink efficiency nerf, giving it some downtime's good. I don't know if 30%'s that needed. No sub-weapon changes, but special weapons are changed. Big Bubbler buffed its maximum radius, so it's going to be bigger, and then buffed its defense against some specials by 50 to 75%. I think making the Bubbler bigger is an interesting change. You'll be able to kind of hold more space, but that also means you'll have to move more in it. It might be actually a little bit easier for someone to slip into it, especially if you're like a junior trying to defend your own bubble. Its defense against some specials, though, is exactly what it needed, because Tri-Strikes could just delete the bubble. So we don't know which specials are going to be less damage to bubble now, but I'm going to assume it will be stuff like Ink Strike, missiles, maybe even something like Hammer or Crab, stuff that's really easily able to delete bubble. Tacticooler has buffed the drink's duration by 2 seconds. Just without special power, and then if you do use special power, the effect of it at low amounts, so you'll get more bang for your buck at lower amounts, has been, it's buffed. So this is just another little kind of change for Tacticooler. It seems like the devs kind of are pushing Tacticooler. They want people to use it more, so they keep giving it little nice quality of life buffs. This is kind of another one. Super Chump buffed its paint from when the chumps land, buffed minimum damage from the explosion from 25 to 35, and then another buff, it's just easier to launch closer to you, so you will less likely to shoot them too far away. These are great changes that Chump needed. I think the damage will probably definitely be noticeably a lot more kind of dangerous. Like, you don't want to just stand in Chumps and let them explode on you. You're probably going to have to take care of them, which means chumps now kind of go up in terms of value. Letting you kind of fire them closer to you is also good, because then you won't have to back up as much to use them, and then you can go in and fight with your chumps a lot quicker. Ultra Stamp, it's nerfed. It will now last 7.5 seconds instead of 9 seconds. However, if you use max special power up, you'll get the duration before the nerf. And that also means it's buffed the effect of special power up, especially at low amounts, just like Tacticooler. Seems a bit weird to nerf Ultra Stamp. It wasn't really doing too much at higher levels. But also this nerf is not that bad. Ultra Stamp gets most of its value in the first few seconds because you're mostly going to be popping it on top of people, so it's probably going to be fine. 3 weapons got their points for specials change. Neo Splash-O-Matic will go from 200 to 210p for its Tri-Strike. I think that's good because Tri-Strike was getting spammed a lot with Neo Splash. Rapid Blaster Deco will be going from 200 to 210, and Ballpoint Splatling will be going from 190 to 200. Both of those weapons have Inkjet. Ballpoint, good change. It was spamming Inkjet a little bit too much. Rapid Deco was not spamming Inkjet because it can't spam Inkjet because it's a blaster. Why did they nerf it? I have no idea. They don't like blasters. That is a weird change that I do not like, but it happened. And those are all of the major balance changes coming to Splatoon in patch 4.0. I would have loved to see some sub-weapon buffs, especially the non-bombs, because all of our new weapons that we're getting this season don't really have bombs. They have these utility subs. It would have been great if we got some buffs to those sub-weapons. Maybe they'll do it mid-season. The devs did say that they will be updating in the middle of Sizzle season, more balance changes. Hopefully we get some just point sensor or toxic mist buffs, whatever you want to see. Part of me really does not like the Machine and Stamper nerfs. I think Machine's nerf is just kind of not really how you should have nerfed it. You should have just made it harder to use in terms of like its hitbox is smaller, or it doesn't combo with as many kind of subs and other weapons, lower the damage. I don't know if you should have nerfed it that hard, especially when there's no other kind of weapon like that, like a blaster or a slosher, that has that good of a kit. People are still going to use Machine. It's just now going to feel worse. You should have just buffed the other options, in my opinion. Stamper should have just... I agree with the Stamper nerfs. They were just a little bit too far, a little bit overdone. We'll have to see how it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more Splatoon 3 competitive content, and I will be back next time. Bye, guys.